Now, like all of you, most of you, anyone else, in fact, I like to be proven right because that shows that, well, maybe I do know something about something, that I know what I'm talking about, But quite possibly at odds with most people is that I at least as much enjoy being proven wrong. Well, that's because I'm learning new things and I'm growing as a person. Now that's today's motivational speech, brought to you by Matt and Motor Illustrated. No, but seriously, I bring this up because this is a 2022 Mini Countryman All4 SE. That's right, this is the plug-in hybrid variant of, well, Mini's SUV, the Countryman. Now, normally, if you've watched any of my videos, thank you so much, I really appreciate it. I've found, via my experience, that at least 90% of all plug-in hybrid vehicles are essentially, well, crap, pointless. Smoke and mirrors is my usual go-to expression. Essentially, you pay more for something that's no more efficient, that is heavier and burdened and limited and all that, and I just don't buy it. But there are a few exceptions for various reasons. Now, if you confine yourself to the limitations of a plug-in hybrid vehicle, well, and or consider the price, some actually kind of make sense. Now, when it comes to price with incentives, the Prius Prime is just a no-brainer. You get the Prius Prime. Forget about the regular Prius. Now, most recently, I drove the Corvair plug-in hybrid version, and well, when you do limit yourself to what that Corsair, did I say Corvair? Corsair can do, it kind of really makes sense. I mean, my fuel consumption numbers were mind-blowing. Which brings me to the latest plug-in hybrid vehicle that I've driven, this Countryman All4 SE. And if you take into consideration pricing and incentives, it doesn't make any sense to actually just get the regular Countryman All4S over this. I'll tell you a little bit more about that very shortly. But suffice it to say that I was going in to my week-long test drive with this Countryman All4 SE with reservations. But now, a few days later, I'm actually enjoying this vehicle far more than I thought. It's not perfect. As always, it can't be perfect unless it's, well, some of my personal cars, of course. But anyway, so what we're going to do now is the usual walk around and then take it for a spin. So please hang in there. Okay, so as you ogle this spectacular looking 2022 Mini, by the way, the 2023 model is already available for purchase. 2022 Mini Countryman All4 SE and its spectacular British racing green 4-color. Let's get right into pricing. Now, the base price in the US for this model, the Countryman All4 SE, is $41,500. In Canada, $44,900. So this is what I mean when you consider pricing. If you look into a Countryman All4S, it starts at, are you ready for this? $43,190. So if my math isn't too far off, that's an $1,800 premium for a plug-in hybrid model. Now, if you subtract federal and potentially provincial incentives, you get the plug-in hybrid technology for free, which is, well, considerably cool, or very cool, because you get more performance, and a little bit of an electric range. So I'll tell you more about that in a few moments. But what you do get with the base car, you get the LED lights, an 8.8-inch touchscreen display in the center. I'll show that to you in a few moments. Apple CarPlay, a 5-inch digital instrument cluster, and a bunch of other stuff which you can expect in a, well, I guess Mini is a premium brand, so in a premium compact SUV. Now, my tester right here, this beautiful British racing green 4, Example has the Premier package, which includes 18-inch wheels, heated steering wheel, Napa leather, panoramic sunroof, heads-up display, navigation, yada yada blah blah, as well as a must-have. I think it's a $250 or $290 option, the heated windshield. I don't know if you're going to be able to see the lines. No, you really can't, but you can see them from. No, you won't be able to, but I can from my point of view. Anyway, grand total for this Mini, $55,180. It's a lot of money, but all said, all told, it ain't that bad. And this is obviously always before incentives. Okay, so let's just go around and peek indoors. So that's 490 liters of trunk space, which is fine and decent considering the size of this car. A little bit of storage down here. See, that's where I'm going to forget my tripod when I return the car. Anyway, decent folding seats, as you can see, 40, 20, 40. That works out beautifully. As far as visual details are, I just completely skipped over that. Well, the Mini Countryman, Minis in general are still excessively attractive. Nothing else looks like a Mini. It's just really quirky, great looking, full of character, and it just seems like it's a happy little vehicle all the time. I mean, you gotta like the interior, the lights that are blacked out and the chrome bezels around the headlights and grill. It's a really, really cool looking little vehicle. By the way, come on, there we go. That's where you plug it in. Well, while I'm here, you're just soak in a little bit more of the interior. On the other side, say contrary to say a Wrangler 4xe, well, it's got a matching kind of logo display type thing here, but this one does not open up. So it only charges on the driver's side. We complete the walk around. I mean, yes, the Brits, they like to remind everyone that Minis are Brits. I like the faux skid plates. They're useless, but I like them. Whatevs. Okay, so I'm using it, my family commute vehicle, and yeah, admittedly, it is a little bit snug in there, but I mean, it works. I mean, it's happening, so you can tell, because the seat back isn't too dirty, so there's just enough room to say that there's, well, enough room. I'm just gonna give you a quick shot of the dashboard there. That's pretty good. I mean, that's a typical Mini dashboard right in front of you. And speaking of typical, I mean, Minis do really nice things when it comes to interior. It's not, typical, but that's the Mini way, right? Everything is very original and special. I left my stuff on the seat, not cool. Anyhow, the plastics are okay. This could be, I mean, it looks the way it sounds, but that's okay because this is kind of padded. It looks fine. The seats are actually quite lovely. I mean, you can tell just by the amount of, I can stick almost my entire hand in there, bolstering. Power adjustable. This is always a nice touch. Okay, so let's just slide right in and start her up. Look, the toggle switches are always so cool. Shut up, shut up, shut up, Ubastank. Okay, so the toggle switches, well, while I'm here, that's for the parking assistance. This is for your eDrive, okay? So here you can set, that's the best spot. You can save the battery, which is magnificent, which is a must-have in all of these plug-in hybrids, but not all have. So then there's the auto and max eDrive modes. So I've been in max to maximize my electric driving. Okay, and I've been with the AC off, but it's freaking warm today, so I'm gonna turn that up. And here are your drive modes. So you have, go right back over here. So you have sport, mid, and green. I've been sticking to green as much as possible to maximize fuel efficiency once more. That's always a cool button too, but I haven't really used it given what type of vehicle this is. While you're here, look, this is your 8.8 display screen, but it's not exactly very big. And when Waze shows up on there, it's really crushed visually. Navigating through the menus isn't really that easy. I mean, it's kind of, it can get a little convoluted at times. You can always use the direct, physical buttons here, but this isn't the most user-friendly interface, but it's very Mini, therefore it is correct and okay. I mean, Same thing applies with the entire dashboard. I just showed you. I mean, the 3-spoke mini steering wheel is just fantastic. Oh yeah, there's the heads-up display, which I hate these little plastic shield displays, but whatever. It's there, it works. Visibility, because we're in a Countryman, is actually okay, because as you come around, because we're sitting up high, even though my driving position is low, you know, there's kind of a little gap right there that allows you to do that big turn. It's snug in here, but it's spacious at the same time. Storage, that's cool, that's fine. This is good, and yeah, there's your wireless charger, and the bin there is good too. Yeah, I think that's it. Now it's time to talk about the drive and what really differentiates the S from the SE. All right, so first things first, it's not entirely unusual for plug-in hybrid versions of some vehicles to actually be the more powerful and even sportier iterations of some vehicles. And that applies to the Countryman All4 SE versus the S, which was, you know, barring a John Cooper Works model, the sportier version of the Mini product. So the Cooper S has a turbocharged 4-cylinder engine with 189 horsepower and 206 pound-feet of torque. So the Countryman SE has a turbocharged 3-cylinder engine, which on its own produces 134 horsepower, not too shabby. That is mated to an 87 horsepower electric motor, not that way. So total combined output is 221 horsepower and 284 pound-feet of torque. But usually, Matt, you say that plug-in hybrids are a lot heavier than their non-plug-in hybrid counterparts, and you are correct. But you see, because this thing has a teeny tiny 7.5 kilowatt hour battery, the weight penalty isn't insane. In fact, it's only about, compared to a Countryman All4S, 270 pounds. So, you know, a little bit less than 1.5 times my Lardo butt. So all told, it's not that bad. And where it gets kind of interesting is that if you compare the 0 to 100 kilometer an hour time between the S and the SE, well, the heavier, more powerful SE will do a 0 to 100 kilometers per hour sprint in 6.5 seconds, whereas the 6.8 seconds, whereas the S will take about 7.3. So it's a full half second faster to 100 kilometers an hour. It's more powerful, it's faster, it's a little bit heavier. And then there's what I'm doing right now. I mean, yeah, it's a Mini, you want to toss it and throw it into corners, but this is still a heavy car. I mean, it still weighs, I forget, 3,600 pounds, 3,700 pounds. It's a heavy SUV. I might be completely off on the weight, I don't remember. But on a full charge, that small battery will give you, according to Mini, about 29 kilometers of 100% EV travel, no fuel used, which works out to just shy of about 3 times what the national average daily commute is. So if I'm really removing myself from my usual, bitching fest about PHEVs, and you plug it in every single time you stop your car, it kind of works out. However, if that's the average, that means that there are lots of people that travel 25 kilometers or more one way and may or may not have the opportunity to plug it in. And, you know, that's in ideal driving conditions. I mean, right now the temperature is 28 degrees Celsius. It's getting warmer and warmer, and the AC is on very low, but this afternoon it's gonna bust over 30. So the AC is gonna be on high. And in the winter it gets cold and there's snow and there's all of that going on. So if you consider that a range can drop by 25%, most people are not going to make it to their destination, you know, if they have to drive more than 15 kilometers, even 12 kilometers in one way. But it's still a hybrid, and it's still quite fuel efficient. I mean, and because it's such a small battery, recharging it on a level 2 home charger I mean, it only takes 2.5 hours. So if you go out in the morning to drop off the kids and you work from home, you got to go out, at lunchtime for deliveries or Costco run. I don't know. It'll be full again. So the thing, and it drives like a bulky, heavy Countryman. That's all it is. I mean, if you want a mini driving experience, you got to get a 3-door Cooper. There is nothing like it. A Countryman, or even a 5-door Clubman, whatever, they have elements of that drive. I mean, steering is kind of nice, a little bit of on-center play in this one, but otherwise it loads up pretty quickly. I am in the softest or easiest drive modes, obviously. As I've mentioned, the ride is very dynamic and sporty, but not too punishing. What I'm saying is it doesn't drive like a Mini, but it's a Mini nonetheless. If you're looking for a Countryman and you spend the extra money, especially if you're looking at an S, you can get the plug-in hybrid variant. I mean, it's more powerful, it's faster, it'll be more efficient overall. You just got to plug it in all the time. That's it. And you got to get the British Racing green color. It's compared to a boring blue on an Impreza or a silly black on a Mercedes-Benz. They're all freaking black. This is awesome. This is cool. I really like this car. And in fact, what I was saying about, free plug-in hybrid technology with the federal and provincial incentives, if applicable, you actually can, depending on the province, assume or will get the full, mini at-home charger system for free, because the incentives will pay for all that and you'll still get more performance. Wow, am I going on? I guess I really, really like this little thing. It's huge. Anyway, that's it.